All right, we are about to go into the History Museum of Oslo. Look at that, guys. The earliest Norwegian grave found ever. And this would be the tools that these people used. Wow. And here we can see an early Iron Age settlement, as it would look somewhere around Stavanger. You can see cattle barns. It's quite a sophisticated structure to keep all the animals in check. You see maybe a wine bag made out of sheepskin here. Have all sorts of exhibition material here. There's even one from Russia with some Russian writing. This is from Russian Siberia. And here you can see Norway's oldest wheel. Look at that. That's pretty cool. The oldest one in all of Norway. This is from 200 BC.
But look, it's the Chinese.
Well, I'll tell you what, does this do anything? Persian.
And here we have a coin from Yaroslav the Wise from Kiev from the 11th century, as you can see right here. Here it is. We have some from Central America as well. It's amazing how diverse world cultures are. You know, there's no limit to what people's imagination can do and how different the deities are and the combination of color. It's fantastic. Yeah, look at this. You can take a look inside the igloo and see what a typical life would be for a family from Nunavut. You know, you would have, it's all made out of snow, of course, and inside you would have a stove to keep yourself warm, and you would have the wife cooking a dinner, and here's the father dressed in seal or other animal leather clothes playing with a baby. So even though you're inside, you still have to dress really warmly because it never quite heats up to melt the snow around. But you can find some shelter under these really warm covers, and there's plenty of them. And this, of course, portrays the way of life in Canadian North. You know, people will be dependent on fishing. You would have the dogs helping carry the load. The skis to carry you over. And of course, warm clothes. And this is beautiful to look at this setup for canoe. And right here, I think what the ancient representation of sunglasses, so you won't get blinded by polar sun. This is quite cool too, because this is actually artifacts of Sami people, which are native people to the northern Norway, Finland, Sweden, and parts of northern Russia. Look at this. This is pretty cool. This is a dress of a native Sami person, people that populated the northern parts of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and some parts of Russia. Look at that. What a beautiful, vibrant colors. Okay, guys, and about to go what we came here for. The Viking artifacts in the center of Oslo. Here we have some bracelets and coins. What appears to be made out of silver. Moving on to some golden golden artifacts. What is this? This might be perhaps something used on a horse. Here we have a horse bridle from Bournemouth, so that's where the festival was at. So this was dug up right there. And this is from 900, year 900. Here you have something really cool. Look at this. A collection of swords that date from 800 to 1000 AD, meaning they were used during the Viking Age, which lasted from 800 to 11th century. Look at these. Who knows what these swords did? How many villages have they pillaged? Perhaps they were never used. We'll never know, but it's more than likely that they were. Look at these. Beautiful. Here we have some artifacts found at the burial of what believed to be a female warrior. So a female Norwegian warrior. This is her swords, her tools, her arrow. Really neat. Here we have another beautiful rusted Viking sword. Look at that handle. Just fantastic. Wow. And this is really neat too, because look at this. Here we have that transitional period when the Norse went from being pagan to being Christian, around 1000 years AD. So here we see some Thor hammers along with some early crosses. You can see how slowly one became the other. Here we have a beautiful runestone made in the town of Ringerike at the end of 11th century. So this would be the end of Viking Age. So this is very much still made by the Vikings. You can see some old Norse tales being portrayed here and made out of sandstone and just beautiful. Look at that. Wow. It's quite tall. I'd say probably 2 meters high. Here we have a helmet that a typical Viking would wear at the 9th century AD, and his armor, the remainder of his armor. So this would be exactly what these guys would be wearing when they jumped off those boats somewhere in northern England for their first voyages to conquer and pillage the villages. This was through these holes right here. The Viking's eyes would be staring at you. So perhaps he's bringing down his sword to take your gold. What is this? This is oval brooches. Perhaps this is the same gold that their husbands would have bringing them from the trips. These would be male belt brooches. And here we have another room, mostly of the old Greco-Roman art. So let's see, where is this coming from? This is from Israel, from 1 to 100 AD. However, these things are from Syria. Okay, so this is from sort of ancient Roman Empire territories. Again, quite an impressive collection of antiquities. Oh my, look at this. Here we have yet another mummy. Oh wow, look at that. Look at this. Wow. Oh my God, look at that. Let me just try to get a better view for you here. There we are. Wow, an actual mummy. You can see the rib cage and the hand. Wow, look at that. How impressive is that? Wow. There you are. Wow. And this is how it is covered up with this beautifully ornamented coffin. Wow, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful collection of ancient Greco-Roman art. There's a bust of Heracles. A portrait of a priest. Look at this. Just imagine this. This is a statue of a priest from more than 4,500 years ago. Can you just imagine that? Just the quantity of time that has passed since then. One relief of Hermes.